Hey y'all, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've posted on here. For those of you that don't know, I am a stay-at-home mom of three. I have a 16-year-old and I have twin toddlers. And so if you can only imagine, I have been exhausted. I have been busy with them and just trying to get things in order. And so I just needed to take a step back. So if you are a subscriber and you're still here, thank you for hanging around because I know it's been a while. But I wanted to come back and talk about time management because time management has really helped me, y'all. And so if you are a struggling mama, if you got little ones and you are just overwhelmed and you are just trying to find time for yourself and it's just a lot, then you want to watch this video because I really hope that these tips will help you all. Now, in one of my previous videos, I spoke a little bit about time management. Okay, so I had to go back to the drawing board, you guys, because when I recorded that video, I was sticking to my schedules religiously. I was very strict about my schedule, and it did work for me for a while. Initially, it was great, everything was in order, and it was great. But I experienced burnout really fast, and so I needed to go back to the drawing board, you guys, and allow myself to have a little more flexibility because I'm the type of girl that likes to go with the flow. Like, I don't really like things set in stone. I don't like feeling obligated to do stuff. And it was just a lot for me, especially having little, small children, right? So I needed to give myself a little wiggle room. So, anyway, with that being said, I am back and I want to share some tips with you all. So, there are two ways that we manage our time, right? We have our to-do list and time blocking. Now, time blocking, for those of you that don't know, which I feel like most of you know what time blocking is, but it's pretty much a time management method where you divide your day into blocks of time. And by utilizing time blocking, I've really started to see some benefits. And so I want to share those three benefits that I've noticed in my own life. And so one is greater productivity and efficiency. Yay! So it feels so good, you all, to be able to just check things off of my list. Like, stuff is getting done and it feels great. And, everything is just running smoothly. And I like that. Now, like I said, I have little toddlers, twin toddlers. So, considering, okay, there are days where mama wants to pull her hair out because the twins are just fighting, things aren't going as planned, but that's just, what are you going to do? But things are getting done and it feels good, right? So that's one benefit. Another benefit that I've noticed is less stress, you all. Less stress because I am not spending so much time thinking about what needs to get done. I realized that a lot of stress was really coming from thinking about all that I needed to do. I need to run this errand, I need to plan this, I need to clean this and clean that. And it was just like a lot on my mind thinking about what needed to get done. Now that I have systems in place, I know they're going to get done. So I ain't even thinking about it. So it's less stress. And things are actually getting done. And it feels good that things are getting done and I ain't thinking about it. So that's nice. And the last benefit that I've noticed is more free time. And I know this sounds crazy because initially, before utilizing time management, I was overwhelmed by the thought of, having a schedule. And I was thinking, like, oh my God, this is going to be a lot on my plate. I'll have to do this and have to do that. And I just felt like it was going to take up more of my time. But surprisingly, it's actually freed up more of my time because I'm more aware of how I'm spending my time. And so I realized that in certain areas, I was wasting time, spending too much time doing stuff that I had no business, like scrolling on social media and, just wasting time. And then I realized that I was spending more time or not enough time on tasks because I didn't plan it. So Anyway, I'm able to, find time because I'm more aware of how I'm spending my time and I'm scheduling things. So I have some tips for you all. Okay, and so the first tip to managing your time well is create systems. Okay, when you have a system in place, then completing tasks just becomes so much easier because they run on a schedule. So create systems. Now, the systems that I have in place are cleaning, meal plan, and a daily routine. So with cleaning, it may look different for you, but how it looks for me is I have personally assigned certain tasks to certain days. And so it runs on a schedule. So, for example, Monday is clean the rooms, Tuesday, kitchen appliances, Wednesday, bathrooms. So, I'm not cleaning, everything in one day. I have a specific day assigned to a task, and I know that it's going to get done on that day, right? So I'm not stressing about it. And here's where the flexibility comes in, right? Because, like I said, I had to go back to the drawing board because I have created systems. Let's say on Monday, I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like cleaning these rooms today. I might just make the bed today and that's it. I'm not dusting, I'm not vacuuming, I'm not doing organizing, I'm not doing any of that, right? I can just go ahead and skip all of that because I know next Monday is coming back around. Okay. And so I also allow myself to be more flexible in that I look at what actually needs to get done, and so if I have washed the sheets on the schedule for that day, but I really don't feel like I need to wash the sheets, then that's one less thing to do. If it's bathroom day and I look at the bathrooms and I'm like, the mirrors look good, the floors look good, all I need to do is a quick clean the toilet and we're good to go. So this is how I allow myself to be more flexible. I don't, you know, do it religiously. I am not super strict. I do what absolutely needs to get done and leave the rest, okay? Um, Meal plan. What that looks like for me. I have created a meal plan for the month. So I have 4 weekly meal plans and I'm just going to rotate them, for up to 6 months, maybe even longer if, we're not tired of those meals by then. But it may look different for you. It may be on Sunday, you write down what you're going to plan to cook for the week. It may just be for you getting up earlier that day and figuring out what you're going to cook for the day instead of allowing the day to progress and think and looking in the fridge like, what am I going to cook today? So it's going to look different for each of us. But for me, I'm like, I got it done a month ahead of time and I pull out the weekly meal plan for the week, put it on the fridge, boom, it's done. So I don't even have to think about what I'm going to cook for the day. And it makes grocery shopping easier. I'm not, buying what I don't need. I'm looking at the weekly meal plan and I only get what we need for that week. And so it's worked really well for our family. And the other system that I have in place is a daily routine. So I am at home most days with my toddlers. We do go out to the library, we go to the park, we go to indoor playgrounds. So we get out of the house, but most of the time we are home. And so for me, having a daily routine, it helps me, but it's really vital, in my opinion, for them because, you know, them being toddlers, y'all know if you have little kids or if you've had, little children, then you know how difficult it is to transition them from one task to the next. I mean, meltdowns, tantrums, the whole bit. And so by having a daily routine, I experience less of that, less tantrums, less meltdowns because they know what's next. And so I feel like they feel a sense of security knowing what's next. after, lunch, they know, after their morning snack, they know it's nap time. And so I don't have to fight with them. They know it's time for nap. But I feel like if we didn't have a daily routine, and nap time just happened whenever, it would be tantrums, it would be a whole mess. So, having a daily routine really helps for us. And they are so little, but I do have a, kind of like a lesson for the day. I was making lesson plans, and so sometimes I just rotate the lesson plans that I've made. Um, some days we don't have an actual lesson plan, but I just have a thing for the day. And so, but we have a schedule that we stick to. Breakfast is at a certain time, the play time is at a certain time. We read books and have learning time at a certain time. So they know what to expect from one moment to the next. And it keeps me busy and not, thinking unnecessarily, because what is the saying? An idle mind is the devil's playground. And so keeping myself busy really helps me too, because it is hard being at home and not interacting with, as many adults as I would if I were at work. So, so it's good for me and my family to have a daily routine. And so those are the systems that I have in place. Another tip that I want to share with you is to prioritize what's important, right? Um, Figure out what your non negotiables are, because I was trying to do so much and it was just, leading me to overwhelm. When you prioritize what is important, you take some of the pressure off. Does this need to get done? What is urgent now? What do I need to focus on now? And what are my non negotiables that I'm just not gonna budge on because it feels good for me to complete this? For me, it's the kitchen. I need the kitchen to be functional. I like the kitchen and the living room to be clean, because that's where we spend the most of our time. And when there's a lot of clutter, then I start to feel agitated, And so for me, I need it to be functional, but I also want it to be, aesthetically pleasing. And so, figure out what your non negotiables are. So every day for me, I set aside time to clean the kitchen twice a day. So usually after breakfast, the kitchen gets clean, and then at night before we go to bed, or if I don't do it at night, then I will tackle it early in the morning before everyone wakes up. Um, the last tip that I have for you all is to carve out time for self care. Like I said, utilizing time management, you free up time. You are able to find time. And this might mean waking up a little bit earlier, waking up before the household. I have to wake up at least 2 hours before everyone else, because I need that time. I need that peace and that quiet. I need to enjoy my cup of coffee and read my Bible, just have some me time before the chaos. So that works for me, and I really enjoy that time. It might mean staying up a little later. You get the kids off to bed and you carve out, an hour or two for you to catch up on a favorite show or a hobby. Is really important for us to take time to rest when we can, but also to indulge in our favorite hobbies and interests, because we spend so much of our time catering to other people and serving others that we need to take time for ourselves. All right, sorry about that, guys. The video just stopped, but that concludes everything that I wanted to share with you all. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.